Hello, Paul Walker from Tonight Today, back again for the 18th time. Tonight, tomorrow, yesterday. So, back from the out of this space. How are you?
Yeah, that's right.
What did you do? Why did you have to space?
I wanted to study the effects of zero gravity on marine animal.
And what did you discover?
NASA says I'm not allowed to tell you.
And how about you, second astronaut? How was space?
Yeah, it was good fun.
What do you do for a science?
I do the physics.
And what is included in that?
I observe and study the physics of fluid in microgravity. Because of the properties of liquid in microgravity, we can investigate fluids that do not mix well on Earth. We also examine reactions that are slowed by low gravity, and temperatures give us a deeper understanding of superconductivity. I also get the water for the fish to swim in that this man looks at.
NASA said you can't speak about that.
Well, NASA said that if I didn't talk about it, they'd never return me to my wife or children.
Hello, is NASA there? Can I speak to NASA, please?
Hello, this is NASA headquarters.
Put me through to NASA, please.
Yes, that's me.
You lied to me.
Darn! So now you know NASA's lying to you. What else did you do in space?
Well, when we're in space, we take advantage of the microgravity and the fish to study their bone density and muscle atrophy. A lot of scientists believe that this research is applicable to similar conditions in humans.
That sounds cool. Did you have to bring a lot of water with you then?
No, actually, we just brought a bucket and got some water while we were up there.
I suppose that makes sense. So what did you actually look at? Goldfish and things?
Yeah. We used a few small fish and we also got a whale.
Oh, well, that's very interesting. How'd you get the whale up there?
I'd prefer not to say.
Alright then. And how'd you get it back down?
Oh, we did it in the most humane way possible.
And the fastest, too.
Yes, we aimed for the ocean, but there were some complications.
As can be expected, I suppose. But moving on, how were you two trained for the journey? What other things did you do to train?
Well, first we had to be accustomed to the G-force that came with flying up there, so we did some training.
Yeah, so here we are in NASA's latest training course. As you can see, just in case we ran into extraterrestrial life, we had to be prepared to avoid it.
Oh, so a simulation?
Simulation? What's that? Sorry?
Never mind, what you were saying?
So yeah, there's me. They wanted to blindfold me to see how good I was, but this also meant that we didn't miss the alien replicas. And this kid didn't let go of my hand the entire time.
Hey, I was frightened, alright? It was a very frightening experience.
So because of that, I was flying blindfolded, one-handed, and we eventually made it to the target point, so we were fine.
I looked at the sun.
I know, you were screaming the entire way back.
What other things did you do to train?
Well, we had to be familiarized with the engineering systems of the spacecraft, like the propulsion systems, thermal control, and life support systems. We also had training in orbital mechanics, Earth observation, and basic astronomy.
We also had to learn how to adapt to a zero-gravity environment, along with isolation, confinement, and radiation.
How interesting. How to train for isolation?
You're trapped.
Long story. Moving on though, we did an underwater course to familiarize ourselves with using the suits and such.
Well, that's very interesting, and quite right, but we must move on. So tell us, how was it to travel up there?
Well, for starters, launch could have gone a lot better.
Yeah, undoubtedly, but the second one was a lot smoother.
After we got into space, though, we stayed in orbit for a while before docking at the ISS.
Docking was a bit of a trouble too, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, looking back on it, it really was.
But travel aside, how was living in space? How was that?
It was odd, if anything. I mean, just trying to eat led to food floating around and such. I had to grow a mustache just for the occasion.
Sleeping was absolutely terrifying as well. And my sleep paralysis certainly didn't help with that. And the demons, they wouldn't leave me alone.
I will not inquire that any further.
Good thing we were able to communicate with people, though, right?
Oh, definitely. I got to speak with my family every now and then. And again through the computers on the station, which was a relief. Gave me something to do other than talk to this goddamn kid.
What did you do for fitness though?
Well, there were various things we could do on the station itself. For running, we were able to strap ourselves down to a treadmill to simulate running for at least a little bit. There were also things we could grab and pull to do other muscle exercises, and so for the most part we were fine. There also wasn't really too much need to while we were up there, but I wanted to at least be able to walk when I got back to Earth.
Speaking of getting back to Earth, how did you manage that? Did you take a shuttle back down?
Sort of. NASA wanted to save money, so they didn't give it a heat shield.
Yeah, it got pretty hot, but we ended up getting back down easily enough.
Well, I'm glad you're both back safely in the end. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching today's Yesterday's show. I'm Paul Walker. Good night.